Boys and girls, mummies and daddies, and all interested folk, the Bill Crane Report is on the air again.
Believe it or not.
With my good friend, Dwayne Weiss here. And Dwayne, what do you have to say this morning?
Nothing. If I don't
Nothing.
say anything, I can't be blamed for anything.
That's it, the strong silent type.
No, fortunately, it's, what is today, 14th?
Yeah.
We have a nice soft rain outside. 13th. Yeah, that's right, 13th.
Yeah, so Friday the 13th comes on a Tuesday
yeah.
this year. Yeah.
So I guess that should be a lucky day.
Let's see.
Well, actually, Friday the 13th aren't necessarily bad, you know.
No, I'm not. Are you superstitious?
No.
No, neither am I. I mean, it's just hocus pocus.
Because listen, if you're suspicious about bad luck, your bad luck is somebody else's good luck.
Yeah.
So how do you explain that?
Yeah.
If you say, well, it's Friday the 13th and I got into a car accident. Yeah, but the body shop made out.
That's right. Yeah.
So to him, it was a lucky day.
And if you survived, you had a little bit
Another
of luck.
lucky, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, listen, I have spent the better part of 2 days putting this program together. And I'm just going to throw caution to the wind and deviate from it. Because a couple of things happened today. First of all, this little fact. The average consumer is paying $450 per month more due to inflation.
That's a lot. That's a lot
of money.
Damn right it is.
The two big offenders, food and rental properties.
Yeah, I know rentals are way up.
Yeah.
They follow the real estate price.
Yeah. And now, also this morning, the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, came out for August. 8.3. It was predicted to be 8.1. It had been 9.5 in June, 9 in July, and they really felt that it was going to continue dropping. Well, guess what? So the stock market sold off because this was a number that was higher than expected. And so what they're saying, the banks came out also and are concerned about earnings for the rest of the year from corporations, and they're saying there's going to be some big hits in earnings.
Well, I bet you there will be.
The stock market dumped this morning. Now, a couple of other things. AOC, you know, you just gotta love her.
Oh, she's my favorite person.
I'm telling you. But her latest quote.
Oh God, I can.
So many people in this country hate women.
That's
hello?
ridiculous. I know.
What? That's all they gave us for a soundbite, by the way. In what context this was, I don't know. But so many people in this country hate women.
That's just a stupid statement to start with.
That's right. Yeah. I mean,
then it gets worse from there if you think about it.
Well, you know what? If you think about The View and The Squad, yeah, I hate them both. But after that, it's just absurd to say something like that. I don't know.
But, you know, she's not a deep thinker.
No.
And she says things to be reactionary. Forget the reactionary.
Absolutely.
The reaction from it. So, you know, you got to, just anything she says, it's just crap coming out of her.
You're absolutely right. I mean, you take a look at her background. I mean, she was a bartender.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's no knock on you bartenders out there.
Yeah, some very smart.
Yeah. But
I remember one they had a couple of years ago on Jeopardy. He was really good.
Yeah. I mean, so but I mean, she's no graduate of the Wharton School.
No, not at all.
I'll tell you. Charlie Crist, former governor of Florida, is running against Ron DeSantis down there. he calls himself a uniter. And he called Ron DeSantis Ron DeSatan. Now that's really a uniting remark, isn't it?
Politicians today are just a crazy bunch. It's begun. If it wasn't sad, it would be funny.
Yeah. You know, that well said,
Yeah.
because it's sad, really, that we have descended into this mud hole.
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody that seems to get along with anybody.
No.
And you watch. I guess that's going to come to get. What today is election day in New Hampshire?
For the primaries.
For the primary,
yeah.
I am so tired of Maggie Hansen and those other characters.
Yep.
You got to laugh though. Some of them, they're funny. They're poorly thought out, but they're so crude that they're funny.
You can tell the pros haven't moved in yet.
No.
But a couple of other things that I noticed in the paper this morning too. College for all. Now,
Not practical.
there's two excellent letters to the editor in the Wall Street Journal. I'll come right to the point. He said, especially in the last few years, he's a college professor,
Yep.
I encountered many students who clearly was uninterested in the subject matter, even when it was part of their major. They seemed to believe all that was necessary was to get that pigskin, not necessarily to master the subject matter. As a society, we must stop telling young people that college is the only path to happiness. After all, a good electrician or HVAC technician is worth his or her weight in gold.
Yeah, well,
And
a good electrician or plumber or some other tradesman is going to make a hell of a lot more money than 80% of the college graduates are going to make.
absolutely, especially with these questionable degrees.
Oh yeah, well that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe 80% wasn't right, but it's a large percentage.
It is a large
There's so many that are majoring in
Yeah.
African studies or
Or
American studies.
T-shirt printing,
Yeah.
or that kind of And so when they go in to sit down at HR in a large company, and what's your degree?
What are you going to
in?
do with it?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing here? We're looking for scientists, research analysts. What are you doing here with this bogus degree?
I have a relative that has a PhD in archaeology.
Oh, that comes in handy.
She got a very good job, or you'd think a very good job, with a major museum. Totally disillusioned. They wanted me to fundraise.
The buggers.
What the hell do you think you're going to do?
Skate.
Yeah.
Look at old
Go
bones.
dig an old bone someplace?
Pontificate. The other one here, too, is very good. During my more than 30 years working in education, most in high school, I always asked students about their post-high school plans. Answers were enlightening, frightening, and sometimes rewarding. The idea that 15 to 18-year-olds have sound ideas about their futures is, in many cases, a fantasy. I think of the future veterinarian who couldn't pass biology. And so many reached their junior or senior years still undecided about a career or field of study, but were sure they were going to go into college. Their friends were going, siblings went, and parents and guidance councils often helped perpetuate the myth that everyone needs to go to college. My advice to students and parents was to take advantage of community colleges' lower costs to explore classes, earn credits, and may be transferred to a 4-year school. Learn how to study and mature enough to find a passion
That's
for
exactly a good. That's one of the best
Isn't-
advices a kid could get today.
Isn't that great?
Take advantage of a 2-year community college.
Yeah.
Even if you stay a year, but get it, do it.
And you pick up 10 credits or
Yeah.
something.
And you see what college is like. You see what it is. Plus, you saved yourself. If you stayed 2 years and went to maybe transfer to BU or Northeastern or something, you saved yourself $100,000 right
well,
there.
Or you do 1 year and you say to yourself, this
don't
baloney
like
is
it.
not for me. Don't like it.
You're not into anything
I'm
else.
going to become a plumber, or I'm
Exactly.
going to go to trade school.
Yeah.
I'll become a carpenter or something.
So many kids should not be jumping from high school to college. It's too big a jump. They're too immature.
They're bingo.
Yep.
And who is
they're getting bad
holding,
advice.
Who's holding these kids back?
Yeah.
The damn educational system. What
Exactly.
are they doing to add to the kids' maturity and life experience?
You know, that kind of segues into one of your points here about college costs, tuitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised you see that here. That's been a bug of mine for quite a while. College raises their costs and tuition, as they always have in the past, is how much money is available to the kids coming in. They used to be, when the government would come up with these government funds that they would, various programs, if the kids got 20%, tuition automatically went up 20%. Whatever they got, the college would raise the price, the cost of that education to suck that money right up. The kid didn't go, he didn't get it, he or she, they didn't have any advantage at all because the college just took it.
Yeah.
Now, even now with the releasing of the $10,000 student debt,
Which may or
universities
may
are
not
si-
ever happen.
I know, but the universities are looking at this. Well, we can raise our cost $10,000.
Money from heaven.
Money from heaven.
Yeah. It's amazing when the student goes to Norfolk University and sits down, and his mother and dad are with him, and he said, well, this is what I'd like to take, blah, 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 and all that. And, well, now, how are you going to pay for this? Well, we're hoping that you'd have some good advice for us. Well, I'll set you up with a loan program, and it'll be easy on mom and dad.
Yeah.
Well, there's where we're going wrong right there.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn about you or what you want to take or anything. But boy, I'm telling you, they want that tuition.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Yep. And when they get it, you're absolutely right. When they find out that they have
Yep.
sailed past the point of resistance, up go the prices.
Yep. Exactly.
They just are feeding off the people. And take a look at some of the universities and the money they have in their endowments.
Oh my God, they shouldn't be charging tuition.
They should be paying taxes on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And now you got to remember in college, we use the word tuition all the time. Frequently now, tuition is less money than the fees. They're two separate entities.
Yeah. And also,
And they nail the kids on the fees. Oh my God.
And you've also got room and board,
Yeah.
meals. I mean, you name it.
Yep.
Books. And different fees, lab fees, and all that stuff.
'Cause I remember mine went to UMass on Amherst. I figured I'm paying the damn state taxes. I'm going to get something out of it.
There you go.
And it turned out to be as good as education as friends of his that went to BC or BU. They doing the same job now, the same type of thing. And there's
BC's got a better football team. That's about the only difference.
did have.
Did have.
But so I thought, well, I'm going to make sure I get something back on my taxes. But it was even there, the tuition looked great, and then the fees and all that. And I remember at the time I told him, when he went out there, I gave him a credit card. It had his name on it, but it was my account in those days. And I said, I don't expect to see Julio's Pizza on this thing every week either. And he used to take, when I would threaten him with stuff like that or warn him, he'd take it totally serious. We'd been there 3-4 days, and he calls up, Dad, when you get the bill, he said, don't get mad. He said, my biology lab books were $150 alone. I said, I know. I said, I figured that's what they were going to. He was shocked. He didn't expect those kind of $400 or $500 for books and stuff like that.
Now, did he look for used books?
Well, that's what I told him, but he
Didn't want to do it.
well, he's only been there 3 days, and he didn't know. I always bought used books. In fact, one of the fraternities had a fundraiser, and they had how would you say consignment.
Yeah.
You took your books to them. They had this storefront that they had rented, and they put them up, and you set a price, how much you wanted for it. They collected money. They took 20% or something like that for their costs. That's
Sure.
how they were making money. But you could buy a book, and they weren't that expensive when I went. But say the book was $40 new. Well, you could find it for $5 to $15
There you go.
used.
Yeah.
But the thing was, you could use it that semester, take it back, put the $15 back on it, and sell it for what you bought it for.
Exactly.
And nobody-
But you know what the problem is? A lot of these kids been born with a silver spoon
Yep.
in their mouth. Used.
Yeah.
books.
Oh, yeah. And they were all noted up. And,
Yeah. My friends will make fun of me.
we didn't in those days. It was just how cheap can you get that book? you
Yeah.
know?
Another thing too. There's probably all kinds of germs in it.
Well, probably,
Yeah.
but
They live forever in
I didn't
books.
care. Sometimes the doodles in it were really interesting.
I got a civics book down at Walpole High School, and on one of the pages, towards the middle of the book, was a girl that must have just put her lipstick on, and she kissed the book.
Yeah.
Never mind doodling. I get kind of a lightning round approach here for
Go ahead.
a little bit before we dig into a couple of the really serious things. The 5 most overpriced cities in the U.S. to live: Boise, Idaho; Colorado Springs, Colorado; Las Vegas; Phoenix, Arizona; and Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. All along the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Well, why would it make them so expensive?
Because they were so cheap.
Then the rate of increase went up.
Yep.
'Cause I remember that happened with Austin, Texas. For years, they were the lowest
Yes.
cost of living in the United
Yeah.
States, and all of a sudden they started catching up by moving their thing. They were still below average, but their rate went up 300% or
Also,
something.
the green people
Yeah.
want a
Tend to go
clean
there.
living.
Yeah.
So they get up there and they pack it and it gets dirty. Yeah. Words spoken by Ronald Reagan. The 9 cruelest words. We're from the government and we're here to help.
Somebody at your door and says, "We're from the government. We better lock the damn
That's
door."
right. The president of Viking ship lines, tour ships
Yeah.
in Europe,
Yeah. Oh yeah, the river cruise.
he has an
people.
ad, and he talks about his father. And his father taught me kindness, honesty, hard work, and curiosity of the world around us. He said that is what I have lived
We're
by.
actually looking at something like that as a last hurrah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if we're getting to the age where you're not going to be able to do anything anymore. But
Yeah. You know what? We're facing the last hurrah.
yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We really are.
Yeah. I don't spend enough time contemplating it, to be honest with you. But I got to get serious about getting some stuff in order. Hell,
oh,
I'm going to be 82
Yeah.
shortly. It's time I started preparing a list of, and I bought a book. So you're dead, now what?
Yeah.
And it answers supposedly for your family all the questions they should have.
You know, I saw friends of ours that he'd pass away, sometimes unexpectedly, and left the wife totally helpless. So I decided, so I've been a year now, I've been trying to get Monica involved in things. Like, I take her down, we go in the basement. This is the main water shut off right here, this thing. And this is how you shut the well off. This is where you,
I think I'll show Susie the shut off down there.
because she wouldn't have had a clue.
She wouldn't have a clue.
Well, no. I said, if something goes wrong in the furnace, the master switch is up in the hallway. It's a little red
knows that.
box. This is what you got to do in the car. This is how you do this. Just stuff that you don't think of because we've always just done them kind of things.
Yeah, yeah. But by the same token, Susie runs the checkbook.
Yeah. I do that too.
And pays the bills and all that. And I don't know what the hell's going to happen if, heaven forbid, she would have passed first because
I took
my
over,
skills in that, I'm not organized.
I took that over a few years ago.
Yeah.
A couple of things didn't get paid. I got a little mad.
Well, Portland, Oregon, year to date, is quite a swinging town.
Oh,
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 25% overall increase in crime, 51% increase in motor vehicle theft, 19% increase in burglary, and a 42% increase in robbery.
You can go back a statement you made 3 minutes ago and hook it on to Portland, Oregon. The Greenies and the other liberals moved in because it was a very nice community to live in, peaceful, kumbaya,
Yep.
mountains, a little rainy once in a
Yep.
while, but moderate.
But still a nice
Yeah,
place
it
to
drew
live. And
a group of people.
and they took over,
Yeah, that's right.
and they are in the defund the police mode.
They brought
and
their
burn
problems with
down
them.
the city mode,
Exactly.
and release ne'er-do-wells without bail on personal recognizance.
That's right.
You know, and I know you know this, but you know, folks, when the illegal aliens cross the border in Texas, they're all signed in and they're given a ticket, and it says, come back in 90 days for a hearing on your status. How many people do you think come back for that? I'm going to give you a hint. Just about all of them disappear into the country, never to be seen or heard from again. As high as 10% is the highest mark they've got on people coming for their hearings. The other 90%, gonzo.
Going to the
That
woodwork.
system, we have a secure border. President Biden said that not long ago, and so didn't, Kamala Harris,
Yeah.
our distinguished vice president. Of the kids, this is a question, of the kids who moved back in with mom and dad during the pandemic 2-year period,
Yep.
what percentage are still with mom and dad?
Probably 70.
67%.
67.
2/3.
Yeah.
That's, well, I mean, what
why-
the hell?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Was right. I'm sure mom and dad don't charge for dinner.
And she cooks
for-
and she cleans and
Yeah,
probably does your
it does-
laundry. And
yeah, and is also available to slide you a few bucks when
That's
you're on
right.
short,
why wouldn't you?
or use the family Lamborghini when
That's
you
right.
have to need it. Here's a mystery. Nat King Cole was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2000. Please explain that to me. He was a balladeer.
Yeah.
He
I
never
don't- I
had
don't
a rock
understand.
and roll song at all.
I don't understand.
That's like
that.
putting me in the Rock and Roll Hall
Mm-hmm.
of Fame because I listened to it once when I was a kid.
Well, you have to move to Cleveland then.
Yeah. You know what? I went to the Rock and Roll Hall
you?
of Fame. Yeah.
It was, when we lived out there, it wasn't no such thing.
Yeah. My distributor, Dave Wilson, lived fairly close to it.
Mm-hmm.
and he enjoyed it. He was, he liked music, so he took me there. I found it interesting, and left to my own devices, I never would have gone there.
Right.
And I certainly would never go there again either. But it was big, spacious, well laid out, and interesting, I guess. Now, this is another question. You did well on your first question.
Well, they're great.
What percentage of deposit bottles and cans are returned for the 5 cents here in Massachusetts?
20.
You're on fire. In 2019, it was 50%. In 2022, 3 years later, 38%.
38. Yeah. I know it's not very successful.
So much for saving the environment. Remember? We've got to pass this. This plastic is killing us. We've got to save the environment.
Remember, there are 50 states. The next time you pick up a can of Coke or a soda, look on the thing. How many states have gone to the bottle bill? 6, 8, maybe?
Yeah. Michigan's
15?
up to it. Michigan's a dime, yeah.
But I mean, the total number,
Yeah.
maybe 15%
Because
said,
it doesn't-
looked at us and looked at everybody else. And most of them, where are most of them? 6 or 7 are right out in New England or Northeast.
Yeah.
The rest of the country said, we're not getting involved in that stupid
and
thing.
By the by, to show you how stupid the legislature is in
Oh, my
Massachusetts, would you tell me why bottled water doesn't have the return on it?
Yeah, because the mission statement is such that they wanted to reduce the pollution in the litter. What more bottles are sold than bottled
bottles.
water?
Yeah, they're in first place.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but we don't.
no.
No. By the way, and I'm going to tell you something else that really talks me off. I used to save the bottles and cans. I used to pick them up off the road when I saw them. And I'd get a big bucket of them. I can't find any place that'll take them back. Right here in the center of town, we have a little convenience store.
Yep.
Sells soda. Won't take them back.
Won't take any?
No. He says, I don't have any place for them, and they're dirty. No, I will not give you your money back. I said, then I'm going to leave them here. He said, don't you do that.
I always understand if they sold it, they had to take it back.
They do, by law.
Yeah.
And you know what?
But if they don't, who's going to enforce it?
I'd be a
That's
real jackass if I
Yeah.
went to the state and said, you know who's not? And put them out of business or
Once in a
something.
while, we'll take I haven't for a long time, a plastic bag of cans we'd have and take them over to Stop and Shop, stick them in their machine.
Stuff them in there for
But
a
you
while.
got to put them in there one at a time.
I know.
But that is not even that bad. But we used to take them to, and I think it's still open, is the Redemption Center in Walpole.
Yeah, 3 cents.
Is that what they're giving you
Yeah.
now? Well, they used to give you the nickel.
Oh, I know.
And
No.
you didn't have to count them. You just take them in big
Big bags.
bags. How many you got? I got 400 here, right?
I brought 2 big bags in. Trying to remember. I think 85 was what the big bags held. I brought them in. I said, 2 bags, 85 each. He said, 3 cents.
Yeah.
I said, they're
Okay.
nickels. He said, I'm not making any money.
Yeah, well, he's probably not because he only gets a cent or something handling on them.
Yeah. But
And he had people working. But you notice that states that don't have a bottle bill, in particular, I'm not talking about plastic now, whether that's going to be another story, but aluminum cans. Aluminum is expensive. Still,
Yes, it
the price is way up. People that don't have a bottle bill and put it nickel, because we're not getting anything. We're giving a nickel, we're getting a nickel back. We're losing the transportation costs and everything else we're losing on it. The states that don't have it take that can, in most places they either crush them or just to make them smaller. They get a bag of them, they take them down and they give them to
the
the
junkie.
recycler.
Yeah.
Now they got nothing in them, but they're getting 5 and 6 and 7 cents a can
Yep.
back for recycling.
Yeah.
They're actually making money some on it. I don't know if they after handling everything, but they're not standing still and losing like we are.
I can't believe up to the dump. It's transfer station.
Shame on you.
How many returnable cans are dumped into the tin can dumpster?
Yeah.
2/3 of them are, 3/4 of them are aluminum cans.
Yeah.
And you know, they should have a couple of containers for aluminum.
Yeah.
But that requires
Yeah.
imagination or thought or something, so it's something is frowned upon here in Norfolk. Now, you've done well on your questions.
Okay.
You ready for this
Am I
one?
getting a prize?
Yep.
All right.
What's the difference between the cigar store Indian and President Biden?
It's got to be some catchy little.
None.
None? Okay. That's why I couldn't think of any.
Yep. Here's an interesting note I heard on TV. Construction companies complain they cannot hire enough workers because they cannot pass the drug test.
Oh, I'm not surprised at that.
What the hell kind of a country have we become? Unbelievable.
The people that they got to hire from, too, the pool that they could draw from, are the kind that would be trouble passing the drug test.
Yep. Yep. But all you're looking for is just laborers, you know. And well, anyway, T arrest rape suspect, and it's this guy.
Okay.
All right. Wade Coffey, 27, is believed to be a homeless man who transit police say is known to frequent the downtown area of Boston. And he was arrested as a suspect in an assault and rape at Tufts Medical T Station. 6'3", 175. I see this bum all the time at South Station.
Okay, sure.
And the last, 2 times ago when I was in there, I remember him, 6'3". I mean, you don't forget that face either. He come up to me and he goes, hey, can you help me? Man, I'm hurting bad. My girlfriend's pregnant. I gotta get down the Cape to where I live and I got $2 to my name. Can you help me get a ticket? And I looked at him and I said, look, buddy, I said, you've pulled that line on me 5 times
already, that's
in the
right.
last 6 months. I said, why don't you smarten up and get a new idea? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have any money.
Well, of course you don't.
I said, well, why don't you try getting a paper cup and sitting it out front and jiggling it like the other beggars do out front? I said, why are you pulling this crap with me? Anyway.
He's doing it because there's more money in it to do it.
Must be. He must be.
Yep.
But he only had $2.
Yeah, he only had $2.
So he's picked up on a suspected assault and rape.
That's a surprise.
What a surprise that is. I'm very interested in car repair and stuff like that. And I hope I can find this. Shoot. There it is. No, it's not. Basically, what it is guy goes in to one of the fast oil change places, and they do a quick inspection of his car
Okay, yeah.
and tell him he's only got 5% of his brakes left. I wonder how you do that without taking the wheel off.
I don't think he can.
I don't think so either. But yeah. So he said, all right, well, thanks for telling me. Well, do you want us to do the work? No.
No.
Well, then you've got to sign this waiver that we have told you, and that anything that happens after this is totally your fault, and we are free and clear.
It would be his fault anyway.
So he said, I'm not signing anything. He said, here's the money for the oil change.
Yeah.
See you later.
You're not required to
Yeah.
sign that.
Well, it reminded me of a story when, way back when, I needed an oil change. I was traveling all the time. So I said to my wife, I'll go get a quickie up to Franklin.
Yep.
So I got a quick oil change. Well, about 3 months later, 4 months later, it was 3,000 miles.
Yeah, those days were.
Same thing happened. I went back to the same place again. So the kid takes the air cleaner off and brings the paper element over to me and said, "It's dirty, sir. This needs to be changed." I said to him, "Get real." I said, "You installed that 3,000 miles ago in this car, and you were the one that did it because I remember you." I said, "And you told me it's a 15,000 mile filter." I said, "Who the hell do you think you're kidding?" "Oh, sorry about that."
You always keep one on
said-
the shelf.
I said, "And not only that, but if you put a brand new one in and you drive 200 miles, it looks like this." That's what it does. It traps dust and dirt. So, boys and girls, if you go to these fast places for oil changes, watch out for the add-ons, because go to a real repair shop. You need to work.
Go to somebody that you know or trust, and stay, when they're good, stay with them. That's the whole thing.
Amen, brother. How do you feel about this? School boards or school authorities should be required to post all curriculum and the textbooks used on a website for parents to see. Or if they fail or ignore to do this, firings need to take place.
Well, it sounds like a good idea, but this is only me. 95% of the parents, if they posted it, aren't going to pay attention to it. If they do, they don't know what the hell they're looking for.
Yep.
It's an academic exercise that's going to be futile.
Yeah, a couple, 3 years ago, back when I was writing my articles, I guess, for the Boomerang, I tried to get a U.S. history textbook out of King Philip.
Yep.
Yeah. Guess again.
Yeah, you'll have to ask a student that's got one.
Yep. So they said their best advice was, "We'll tell you who the publisher
Yeah.
is. You can contact them yourself and buy one." You know,
Yeah, so you had the initiative and the interest in it. I will bet that you were probably the only parent that gave it to him.
I think you probably got something. Some believe that China could strangle us by cutting the supply chain of pharmaceuticals and computer chips. Is this how World War III is going to start?
Very possible.
Because that's a true statement.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's no question about it.
Yeah.
We're playing a very dangerous game with China.
That's right. A very dangerous
Oh
game.
yeah.
And they're playing a dangerous game with us, too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You look, but you know what? You look, it was Al Smith in 1928 said, "Let's look at their record.
Yep.
Look at their performance. Look what they've done in Hong Kong. Look what they're doing in Singapore right now."
They're not making any way of telling anybody they're not doing it. They're telling you right up front, we are going to become the player of the world.
Smash mouth.
Yep.
They're playing smash mouth football with the
And-
world.
They're not. It shouldn't be any surprise.
Nope.
The-
I'm sure that our president is probably surprised.
I think any of our presidents would probably be surprised. But
But a blind man can see this.
oh, yeah, absolutely.
what have we got down there in Washington?
Well,
I think I know the answer to this.
it's not new. That's a problem. It's been going on for generations. You take China is a phenomenon within the last 20 years that's just never been heard of. Maybe Roman Empire someplace back in then. But, you know, even Putin siding up next to him and stuff, that's like siding up next to a crocodile.
It's going to eat you.
The Russia's going down, China's going up, and power and prestige and influence is going to become a point where China's going to reach over and say, thank you.
Do you know what China is doing too? And I'm sure you do. They are in right up to their eyeballs in Africa.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And they can smell those natural resources
Yep.
there, and they are moving in lock, stock, and barrel.
100%.
Yep.
It's obvious. They don't hide it.
No,
Ah.
they don't. And the rest of the world goes, but it's
You're right.
the average new house now costs over $400,000.
Yeah, I see that when I see real estate stuff from around the country. It used to be you'd see, oh God, Fort Myers, Florida, $89,800 for a
Yeah.
nice house, but
Yeah.
those days are gone.
Oh,
But even, you know, it's relative, but the rest of the country has caught up.
I remember. I like to walk. So I remember the last time I was down in Florida on business. I stayed in Lakeland, Florida,
Yeah, okay.
which, you know, is a short hop and it's giving a jump to Tampa. But it's out of Tampa. And I like to walk. So at night I would walk around. And I discovered, I was in a Holiday Inn, on the other side of Walmart was all these small cottages. Not cottages, small homes.
Okay.
Yeah. I said, wow, yeah, it's laid out well. What a good place to walk. Wow. Sidewalks and everything. And I went in there, walked and walked and, well, some of them were for sale. A couple of them had the prices on them. $42.9.
Oh, I know. It was.
Yeah, 45. And a couple of people were out and they were friendly. Hey, how you doing there, bud? Oh, doing fine. How you doing?
Years ago, when I first got a computer for play in business
Yeah.
and stuff, you know, it was phenomenal. I'd go to like Fort Myers, Florida, and real estate. And
Yeah.
say, oh my God! I say, Monica, come here. I can get that house with a pool and everything for that kind of money. But you don't see that anymore.
I do the same thing. I pick out these places around the country and say, well, you know what? I wonder what the house is like here, and if I'd like to live here. And I was, North Dakota. I got one way out in the sticks. There was 2 houses in the town for sale. One was about $80,000. One was $250.
Oh my!
It was like a shed that you'd see in your backyard
Yeah.
that Jack had built. It wasn't professionally built even, but someone was living in it.
Oh yeah.
$250. I asked the bride if she'd be interested in going out there. She told me no. No.
No, there's.
But you know, where the hell are people going to live? At $400,000 a house and $2,000 a month is the average cost of a one-bedroom apartment.
I don't know, Bill. I don't know where in the hell they're going to get the money to make those kind of house payments. I can't imagine a mortgage that steep, that big. You know, and $400,000 is a buy today. That's minimum around the country. Well, it might be some places $250, $280 yet, but
I had a
none of
friend that
the
sold a house recently.
none of the back to the
high
5-digit
threes.
stuff, 5 number.
Yeah. But all right. So somebody goes to McDonald's and they're advertising $18 an hour. Well, it's $720 a week.
Yeah.
All right. So after taxes, after the health plan, after whatever state taxes, so he'd be very lucky to get $500 in his pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at $2,000 a month, he's going to work 4 weeks to pay a month's rent.
You could barely rent the place with gross if you weren't taking out any taxes or anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you were willing to give up eating.
That's right. I don't know. That is a problem.
Yep.
I don't see any solution to it.
The action president has not taken any action on homelessness that I can see.
I don't know.
That's a huge problem too. I mean, by the way, 16 Starbucks stores closed this summer due to crime.
Crime. I know some were closing because of union.
These was just exclusively crime.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Some of these places just can't.
It really speaks well for New York and Chicago and Philadelphia.
Well, you know, there's been areas. There still is. They say it's racist because there's no grocery store in the neighborhood. Well, there was a grocery store there at one time, different times.
Yeah.
But the theft rate was so high they couldn't stay in business.
And then you burned it down.
And then you burned the damn place down.
Yeah.
So
It's.
there's no answer. If you're going to deal like that, there's really no answer.
I've talked to a Boston fireman. He came to where I was working when I was being a security guard there for part-time. You see, on my day job, he says, I'm Boston Fire Department. I said, wow. I said, God love you for that. He says, yeah. He said, it's a zoo in there. He said, you wouldn't believe it. He said, we get down certain streets, they throw bricks at us.
Yeah,
And then he hung the expletive to describe the folks that lived in that neighborhood. He said, they're all crazy.
Yeah.
He was black himself.
Yeah. Well, you remember when, I don't know what they called it then, Columbia Point,
Yeah.
where UMass and all that stuff is out there now. There was a time and Boston wouldn't go in there with one squad car. They wouldn't go in unless it was 2 or 3 squad cars together.
He told me there was a section in his ladder company that is so bad the cops won't even patrol down the
That's
street.
where they wouldn't go. They
Yeah.
would go, one car wouldn't go
Yep.
in there alone. They'd go in 2 or 3 at a time.
And this guy moved his family out to Mansfield. He said we couldn't live in there.
No.
I can't raise my
How
kids.
could you raise a family in a situation like that?
Yeah.
You can't do it. Okay, 10 bill.
So you can understand how Starbucks. And
10.
okay, Republicans need to run on groceries, gas, and God and crime.
Yeah. Gas and groceries. One is underrated or underexposed and one's overexposed. Now, I know some people spend quite a bit of money, do spend money on gas and commuting. But overall, it's your groceries that are killing you right now on inflation because you don't notice it.
And I tell you what's going to kill you this winter is going to be heating costs.
Heating costs, fuel again.
Yep.
But gas, you buy it once a week, twice a week, 3 times. But you pull in, you say, God, it was just here Wednesday, and it was this price or this price.
Yeah.
But grocery stores, you kind of forget, was that bread $3.29 or $3.19?
Not me. I remember what I buy.
Well, I buy the same. I do somewhat because I buy the same things all the time.
I do. I buy the same things, and I can remember what I've been paying for oatmeal bread, the house brand at Roach Brothers.
That kind of thing. But it does sneak up on you.
Yes, it does.
Grocery bills have gotten outrageous.
Do you know what we've found ourselves doing is really cutting back on eating out?
Yeah, we have to. We kind of got used to it during the pandemic. We didn't go out for 2 years, I think. And we tried to go out. Well, in fact, we tried to go out Sunday night.
By the way, Dwayne, I got to hop to one here that I just that is involved with what we're talking about. COVID-19 is killing between 320 and 400 people a day.
Oh yeah, it's still
in
there.
the U.S. 85% of the people that are dying are over the age of 65.
That's right.
Yeah. If that isn't a sobering fact.
It very much is.
Yep. And it's and the guidance that you get from either of the last two presidents was sadly lacking.
Because it's not political expedient.
It's not a glamour subject.
Plus, I could be blamed for something. I'm not touching that.
Yep.
That's the third rail.
Yep. Coyotes spotted in Sudbury, Wayland, and Concord. Oh my
God,
goodness.
I thought they were everywhere.
Wildlife on the loose. What will we do? You would think that Martians had just invaded if you read this story
Coyotes,
in the paper.
Coyotes
For
are everywhere.
God's sakes, I have him in my yard.
A bear, certain places, would be a little bit better. But
Yeah.
even them are not unheard of anymore. There's one.
Not only that, but I got news for you. A bear is more afraid of you than you are of him. And if you make a noise, the bear is going. 2/3 of the people in the U.S. did not attend college, but Biden wants them to pay for those that did.
Yeah, I don't like that debt forgiveness.
Because
the poor guy that just paid off his kid, or the poor kid that just paid his, what are you going to do for him? Now, that being said, what are you going to do for the next class that comes up? Then what are you going to do for the next class?
Yeah.
That's like reparations for slavery.
Yeah.
You make the reparations today, well, what about the grandkids? What about the great-grandkids? What about the next generation? What about the next
And
generation?
these college recruiters are sitting down with the families and saying, sign the loans. These guys are going to
Honest to
forgive
God,
them.
Bill, if I was young and that, I would borrow $10,000 today, just on the bet that they're going to forgive it.
Yeah, there you go.
Stick it in the bank. If they don't, well, I'll give it back to you then.
Jamie Dimon, president and CEO of JP Morgan Chase Bank, the biggest bank in the U.S., is telling his employees no more working from home. If you're not in your seat, no job.
That's right. Working from home is nice, but it's not nearly as productive. Okay.
No.
5, Bill.
Nope. 5, okay. Good advice. Move forward. Look ahead, not backwards.
That's right.
Rob O'Neill, changing the subject,
Okay. Yep. I know.
is the guy that killed Osama bin Laden.
Yep.
I see him on TV from time to time, and it's in the next segment. Rob O'Neill, the man that killed Osama bin Laden. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't like that one damn bit. I thought when you went on a secret mission, it was a secret what took place on that mission. And did this guy leak the information about himself? I don't know.
I don't know.
But if he did.
But I wouldn't expect this to stay secret. That would have been.
But here's the thing that bugs me is that he's cashing in on it.
Oh, sure.
But yet it was the whole squad acting as a team that did that mission, that was successful with that mission. And this bum is a bum doing that, as far as I'm concerned.
You're right. But it's been over and over, done over and over and
Yep.
over again. It's somebody grabs the glory pole and
Yeah.
and runs with it. But you're right. It was a team mission, and I don't know. There's just no. I don't know what you could say. It's just not right. Even so, if you look at, it's been going on a long time. You look at a list of awards, silver stars, bronze stars, even, and different for valor. You see colonel this and colonel that, and lieutenant colonel this, and then a few sergeants in there, maybe one or two. You know damn well the colonels were not out there getting shot at. They were sitting in an office someplace.
Do you
signing
know who got a Silver Star?
No.
LBJ.
Oh, okay.
He was a congressman,
Yeah.
and he was in the Texas Reserves.
Yep.
And he got himself up to like a major or a lieutenant colonel.
Yep.
They took him for a plane ride.
Yeah, I know. That
Yeah.
That kind of stuff happens all the time.
And they said, "See way over there? That's the front.
Yep.
All right, let's get the hell out of here."
Exactly.
Oh, he got a Silver Star for that.
That happened a lot of times in Vietnam. These guys were getting the awards or the medals.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't within 20 miles of it was happening.
Yep. 200 days since President last had a one-on-one interview or a press conference.
Yeah, he's not big on that. That's for sure.
It's the understatement of the year.
Yeah.
That's great. Wish I had said that. The average mortgage rate in this country for a 30-year loan is 5.89.
It's getting up there.
Yep. It was in the 2s when
That's
Trump was
right.
president. Is this progress? From Wisconsin, the cheese state. You know about Wisconsin.
I know all about it. I'm going to be there next week again.
Police raided the City Bar in Madison. Ever been there?
Not to the city bar. I've been to
Okay.
Madison, but never to the city
They
bar.
were checking IDs of 143 patrons. Only 6 were of legal age.
I'm surprised 6 were. That's UW territory, my friend.
Guess what? We have gotten by.
I asked my son, I said, when you were at UMass, did you have a phony ID? He wouldn't answer. He just kind of grinned at me. I said, okay, we'll just leave it at that.
Leave it alone. And I got this one thing that'll wind us up here for the lightning round. A man who got into a hydrogen balloon to harvest pine nuts from a tree in a forest park in northeastern China spent 2 days aloft after it became untethered and flew away, traveling about 200 miles to the northeast, close to the border with Russia.
You can't make that up.
You can't make stuff like that up.
Did you? You ever see on, was it True TV, I think it is, they have the world's dumbest and they got different subjects. If you see it on there, turn it on because it's amazing. You see somebody doing something, you just know, I tell mine, that's not going to end up good. It doesn't.
The guys, my 2 kids, tell me, just type in Florida man,
Okay?
and you will get no end of stories. Like Florida man runs amok
Okay,
and
yeah.
mows down 17 barriers, and they just said it goes on and on and on forever. Anyway, all right. Well, folks, we've come to the end of this portion. So this is your chance to go to the ladies' room or the men's room, depending upon how you present yourself.
And if you're confused, then you just go to them room.
By the way, we're going to allow binary people to run in the marathon next year.
Oh, okay.
And you don't have to declare yourself, but they're not sure how they're going to keep score yet, what group they're going to be in.
Oh, good luck.
We'll work that one out. So, folks, get yourself a beer or whatever, and we'll be back.